Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to YAHAWASHI, Bashem Kakodash, double unsettled apostles, great millstone, taught me his truth, and blessings all you sincere labors of the pushing truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. I'm that fellow servant Kanakla coming in once again, GMS Temple April 12, Apostles Servant, St. Petersburg, Florida. I'd like to thank Yahawah Shai putting spirit on me to do another lesson. It's going to be a quick lesson. It says, based off this article, U.S. wasted billions in Afghanistan while China developed infrastructure, and now New York has bumpy roads, jokes Pakistani PM. So this beautiful, because you know how long, how many years, they spent in Afghanistan, man, was ridiculous. All right, and come to find out, soldiers was coming back saying that, they was just pretty much guarding poppy fields, and poppy fields for the heroin that's being dumped over here in the streets of America, and also used for the pharmaceutical industry as well. But that's what America did. They went over. See, they go to other people's homelands and other people's countries and cities and play in it like it's a big ass playground and cause all kind of turmoil, blow up buildings, and do all kind of unruly things, in someone else's backyard, But if it was their own backyard, you know, um, they wouldn't be doing that shit. So, real quick, I'm gonna, go into this article. It says Pakistan Prime Minister served up some bitter truths during an interview with MSNBC. Nothing that U.S. taxpayers' dollars would have been better spent on fixing America's infrastructure, and I believe America's infrastructure. Let me see something real quick. America's infrastructure, I would think, is a D minus, if I'm not mistaken. America's infrastructure. Report. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. But last time I checked, it was like a D minus or something. Let me see. I believe it's like a D minus. Bear with me. I roll with this. This is February 5th, 2019. So this is this year. America's infrastructure is decaying. Here's a look at how terrible things have gotten. All right. There's speculation President Donald Trump will discuss infrastructure in his State of Union address on Tuesday. America's infrastructure is desperately in need of investment. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers, ASCE estimates the U.S. needs to spend some $4.5 trillion by 2025 to fix the country's road, bridges, dams, and other infrastructures. Trump reportedly hates major parts of the infrastructure plan he unveiled in 2018, which proposed $200 billion in federal funding designed to finance new projects and repair while incentivizing private investments. All right, aviation D. There we go. Aviation D, bridges C plus, dams D, drinking water D. That's why you shouldn't be drinking tap. Drinking from the tap. Look at that shit. It's ridiculous, man. Energy D plus, hazardous waste D plus, island waters waste D plus, levees D, parks and recreation D, port C plus, railroads B, roads D, road should be an F, man. Schools D plus, solid waste C plus, transit D minus, water waste D plus. Look at that shit, man. All right, America is on its way out of here. Okay, but here it is. They can go to Pakistan, right? Spend billions of dollars, waste billions of dollars, and they can't even fix up the infrastructure over here. And that's how we know that this is the Roman Empire reincarnated, because that's what Rome did. Rome's infrastructure fell to crap while they had the military too far spread thin. All right, and they wasn't keeping up their keeping up at home. All right, so I'm gonna get into the scripture. Uh, Habakkuk 2 verse 3. For the vision is set for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, the vision of end times. All right, the end of this world. All right, this current era, this current rulership, which is so-called white man. All right, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Con. Yea, also, because he transgresses by wine. All right, and wine is a representation of philosophy. Okay, he transgresses by wine. He is a proud man. And the so-called white man is proud, especially these American white men. They say, I'm proud to be an American. It says, neither keepeth at home, and that's the point. Neither keepeth at home. Okay, look at this. Pakistan Prime Minister stirred up some bitter truths during an interview with MSNBC, noting U.S. taxpayers would have been better spent. It's like taxpayer dollars would have been better spent on fixing America's infrastructure, and opposed to squandering them in Afghanistan. Asked what advice he had given U.S. President Donald Trump on seemingly endless war in Afghanistan, Imran Khan told the co-host of Morning Joe that the conflict would go on for another 19 years. The United States doesn't push for peace. All right, and they're not going to push for peace, because the more there's war, the more there's turmoil, the more of an excuse, okay, they have to be over there. Because if it's peace, then there's no need for us to have troops on the ground. So they got to keep the narrative that there's a war, that there's something bad in it, and even if it begins to subside, and there is some hope or some sense of peace, they're going to stir things back up, because as written in the scriptures, power was given to the so-called white man in the book of Revelations, the red dragon, all right, to take peace from the earth. All right, and that was their job. Okay. So with that being said, keep reading on. It says, while U.S. is pouring at least 1.5 trillion into futile Afghanistan war, China was developed first world infrastructure, and today New York has bumpy roads. So because of wars, that's the violence is the downfall of the so-called white man. Okay, violence is the downfall of the so-called white man. Here it is. America's busy making wars, spending 1.5 trillion on wars, but China, here it is. China is building up their infrastructure. Okay, and that's how it's supposed to be. All right, you got to build up at home first in order to keep your empire thriving. You got to build home. Okay, so it says, if I was an American, I would ask, at least 1.5 trillion has been spent in Afghanistan. What have we achieved in this? Exactly. What have we achieved? All these pointless wars. All right. But, they have their own agenda behind it. Okay. So he said, adding that his visit to the United States to attend the UN General Assembly made it clear to him that the money spent to prop up Kabul should have remained at home. While the U.S. is pouring money, and this is the quote, while the U.S. was pouring money into Afghanistan in this futile war, the Chinese were developing first world infrastructure. And I'm in New York, and I'm watching my car bumping around. And New York is supposed to be that. New York is like the center of that big city. Okay, New York is that centerpiece of the big city. And it says his job, at America's infrastructure, often criticized for lagging behind others first world nations received. All right, and Donald Trump, he's quick to throw that narrative out there. Go back to your shithole countries. Well, here it is. New York City is pretty much like the city of America. That's when you come to America. If you don't visit nowhere else, you're supposed to visit New York, because that's why they call it the Empire State. That's why you have Empire State Building, because that's supposed to be the image of America, New York City, the Empire State, which is where the empire started. And how did the empire start? All right, the stock market. Okay, it started by the enslavement. The first stocks, all right, was Negro women and Negro children, Negro men. Okay, so that was the first stocks. That's their empire. That's how the empire uh, begot how it was. You have a lot of free labor, but you don't have to pay those slaves to for their labor, free labor. Like we always use the statement: if Walmart didn't pay none of their employees for 200 years, imagine the profit that Walmart would make. You know, each employee making $500, every 2 weeks. And then you don't have to pay them that. Come on, man, that's a big profit. So that's how America was able to get on the status that it was throughout the blood and slavery, all right, of the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, right? Um, I'm gonna keep going. It says, all right, it says, even so, host Joe Scarborough applauded Khan's discerning observation. Okay, and that was a very discerning observation. This is remarking that the Prime Minister sounded like a voter from the Bronx. The war in Afghanistan has dragged on for nearly 2 decades, 20 years. And I wanted to say that in the beginning, but I didn't want to be wrong. You got to make sure you have your facts right. So this war has been going on for 20 years. After the United States invaded the country in October 2001, the total cost of the war has been estimated between 760 billion to 2 trillion. But yet they won't put that much money into their own infrastructure, or they won't give that money to the homeless here in America, okay? Or they won't donate that money to the cancer, for cancer or other so-called deadly diseases that cannot be healed, but yet and still they'll fund the war. All right, that goes to show you the heart of the so-called white man. All right. And I'm going to read his judgment here. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, Habakkuk 2:5. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire is hell and his death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathers, exactly. Neither keepeth at home, he's always in somebody else's country, who enlarges his desire is hell. And when you look at all the hell that's been caused over there in Afghanistan, people, you know, uh, houses being bombed. Matter of fact, let's just see that real quick. Um, all right, hold on. All right, so these just a few pictures. War in Afghanistan. Just um show you certain things. You know, people houses being bombed, and this is all from the war. And I used to I was interested in joining the military some time ago, and I used to see how they would literally they would tell the people, you know those soldiers, U.S. soldiers, will have cash in their hand, will tell the people like, hey, we need to use your house because we need to blow this wall down. All right, we need to take this infrastructure down, and we'll give you money. Here's money, cause so we can occupy your house, or or something. They would just remove people out of their houses. All right, because they would claim that they need it for some reason, man. Right? Or you got drone strikes bombing, civilians. Okay, so that's the so-called white man. right? Who enlarges his desire is hell, and those countries are a lot worse prior to the so-called white man even coming in there. All right, who the large desire is hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, and the so-called white man can't be satisfied. That's why he has to be in war after war after war. All right, desire is hell cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, and that's what he does. Okay, and this the judgment. Shall not all these take a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him? So not all these things come up against him invading other countries, okay? And say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Afghanistan is not yours, all right? Iran is not yours. Iraq is not yours. Venezuela is not yours, okay? But they covet fields, as the scriptures say. It says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Woe means destruction. So destruction unto them that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Okay? And that word clay goes into debt. So they laden themselves with thick debt. Trillions of dollars in the debt. Alright? It says, shall not they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them, and booties mean for spoils. All right, goods shall be for goods unto them. Because when you look at a woman, majority 9 times out of 10, you look at her butt. All right, that's why they called it booty. Okay, because that's the goods, and that's what you want. That's what you want to grab. Most of the times when a dude touch on a woman, he grabs her butt. So that's what's gonna be. America is gonna be spoils unto these other nations. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations. And is the scriptures lying? Is the scriptures not historically accurate? Yes. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and they have shed much of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, the city, and of all that dwell therein. All right. So the judgment is pretty much set for America. America is crumbling. Okay, and it's just, we're in these last days. We're just waiting for these things to transpire and for these things to take place, and it's not too long before they do, and we'll be home. All right, our Lord YAHAWASHI will return and set us back in our own land, right, the land of Israel, that's being occupied right now by imposters. So with that, Lord willing, ratified, I'm gonna give all praise going on to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashem Kwakadash, double on the apostles, great millstone, taught me his truth, and blessings all you sincere ladies out there pushing his truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. Shalom.